There is a way that cannot be taught, a rhythm no master can pass on. It's not carved in scrolls, it doesn't echo through temples. It lives where silence runs deep and the blade remembers blood. You must become formless, not because it's simple, but because form is the first prison. The mountain does not fight the storm, it endures. The river does not argue with the stone, it shapes it. The flame does not seek permission, it consumes. So must you move, without hesitation, without apology, without expectation. Those who cling to fixed patterns are already dead, because when the moment demands, the rigid shatter. Water adapts, fire commits, one flows, the other strikes, and the warrior must become both. There will be times when stillness is survival, when the world calls for patience, and the blade must remain sheathed. In those moments, be like water, silent, deep, unseen. Let chaos exhaust itself. Let noise burn out. Remain unreadable. Remain untouched. Then, when the time comes, when opportunity appears, when the enemy reveals weakness, when truth rises like smoke from the battlefield, strike like fire, without warning, without mercy, without hesitation. The sword that waits too long grows rust. The hand that doubts its grip invites death. Discipline isn't control, it is flow. The flow of breath, the flow of thought, the flow of spirit. The undisciplined man moves in pieces. He reacts, he chases, he fears. The disciplined man moves as one, breath, mind, body in a single rhythm, uninterrupted, undivided, undeniable. To become this, relinquish the need to be understood. The river does not explain its course. The flame does not ask to be liked. Be willing to be silent. Be willing to stand alone. Let the world's noise pass through you, like wind through bamboo. Let your stillness be the threat. Weak men yell, strong men act. When you move, burn everything in your path. There is a season for all things, a time to prepare, a time to move, a time to build, and a time to raise. Know the difference. Never bring fire where water belongs, nor water where fire must reign. To confuse them is death. To master both is to become untouchable. Walk like water, go where resistance breaks, flow through unseen cracks, let no barrier define your course. Be everywhere and nowhere. Reveal nothing, conceal everything. And when the moment arrives, when it's time to unveil who you are, do not whisper, do not slip in gently. Ignite and let them know you waited, waiting to strike like flame. Even the toughest steel melts under enough heat. Even the tallest mountain bows to rain. This is not weakness, this is truth. You must bend only where the mission demands, never the spirit, never the will. Be fluid in motion, because the world will push, it will pull. It will test your form and your silence. If you cannot bend, you will break. If you cannot burn, you will be buried. Those who rise are those who shift, who change, who stay unmoved in essence, yet invisible in approach. When they move like fire leaping through dry grass. There is no longer time to be half-made, no space to explain yourself to the blind, no room for guilt, no room for fear, only motion, only flame, only flow. Mastery is not the absence of doubt, it is the absence of delay. Ask yourself, are you fluid or frozen, kindling or flame, drifting or cutting through? The answer lies not in words but in your step, in your strike. A warrior is not chaos bound in muscle, but order bound in restraint. To flow like water is not drifting, it is choosing the path of least resistance. From vision, not weakness. To strike like fire is not mindless destruction, but force applied with precision where it counts. Fire without aim is ruin. Water without purpose is stillness. But fire with intention, water with patience, that is strategy. You are not a storm. You are not a flood. You are the hand guiding the blade, the mind behind the silence, the moment between peace and violence. Most will never reach this clarity. They react, they explode, they cling, they spiral, they drown in their own noise. Be the still point in their chaos. Your enemy will not always wear armor. Sometimes your foe is distraction. Sometimes it is attachment. Sometimes it is the quiet voice that says, "Wait a little longer. Don't act yet. What if you're wrong?" Cut that voice. A warrior acts when the moment demands, not when applause arrives. You will feel tempted to explain yourself. You will crave validation for the fire within you. Let that die. You are not here for approval. You are here to become undeniable, silent, unseen, but real enough to silence doubt. There is nothing louder than quiet certainty. There is nothing stronger than a man who has burned away all falsehood. There is no greater power than presence without need. Flow like water, move where others cannot. Strike like fire, burn where others fear to stand. Your path is not domination but direction. Each step must be chosen, not inherited, not given, not borrowed, but chosen. There is no fate, there is only discipline. When others rush in, you will wait. When others hesitate, you will move. When others beg for balance, you will become balance. You are the storm contained in a single drop, the spark hidden in quiet breath, the silence that terrifies the untrained. When the day comes, when everything falls away and only your action remains, let your movement speak what words cannot. No bravado, no chaos, only force, only clarity. There will be no herald, no signal. The moment arrives unannounced. You must already be ready. This is what you train for, not glory or victory, but the purity of the instant, when mind, body, breath, and blade unite and hesitation dies. There is no space for who you were, no room for regret, no patience for excuses. The past is ash, the future is smoke, only now remains and now is fire. On this path you will lose much. Friends, lovers, comfort, praise. They will say you've changed. They're right. You burned what you were to become what you must. Release them. Let them speak. Let them misunderstand. The warrior walks alone, not by choice, but because the road is too narrow for those who carry fear. You carry none. You bear no guilt. You hold only rhythm, breath, blade. If the world resists you, flow around it. If it strikes you, strike through it. If it doubts you, disappear into your clarity and let your presence linger long after they forget your name. You were not made to chase peace. You were made to embody it. Not as a whispering breeze, but as the calm within the inferno, the stillness before the strike. Remember this, move unseen, strike when inevitable, rest like stone, flow like smoke, speak like silence, live like fire, because in the end, no one will recall what you desired or feared. They will only remember how you moved. Move with purpose, flow like water, strike like fire, and leave nothing but ash and ore.